Hey, I'm Brad.
I'm Rach.
And the kids are in bed. We should just do the whole video like that. No offense.
I'm offended.
But I said no offense.
I trimmed my own bangs. I can't get them to lay right. Isn't that shocking?
It doesn't, you can't tell that you trimmed them yourself.
If I had $1 for every time someone was like, you should try growing out your bangs.
How much would you have?
A lot of money.
Oh, you should try growing out your bangs.
Should I? I've never thought of that. Let me know in the comments if you know why I have bangs right now.
So 2 of the kids are in bed, the other one's in the corner playing with her balloon.
He loves that thing.
And
We have a really, really awesome topic tonight.
yeah, we do. This is a really smart way to keep your toddlers really busy.
I wish I could claim credit for these ideas, but I cannot.
Was this
I
like
follow
Busy Toddler? or
Busy Toddler on Instagram, and there's just nothing you can't do without painter's tape. So that's the star of our show tonight, is just some painter's tape.
something? Whoa.
Let's
Did you
back
just-
up.
Did you just say there's nothing you can't do without painter's tape?
You can entertain your toddler in numerous ways with painter's tape.
Okay, all right.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Don't fact check me on this.
Totally concur.
Yes.
Hit that subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. It helps our channel grow.
Yep. And if you're so inclined to hit the thumbs up button, if you're one that does hit thumbs up buttons on videos, you're really helping that channel.
First off, I cannot overstate how awesome this paper has been. It was really cheap on Amazon. I think it was like $12. I'll link it below.
It's probably recycled.
It is a ton of paper. It's technically like butcher's paper, so I also use it when I smoke, not smoke cigarettes or marijuana cigarettes.
Cigars.
Or cigars.
Pipes.
Black and, what is this, black and smooth? Black something.
Oh, I don't know.
Whatever those little cigars are that's like black.
I don't know.
I don't smoke those.
Not a cigar smoker.
Meat, when I smoke my meat in my Traeger.
Yes.
Awesome, a lot of paper.
Yeah. So the purpose of that is for coloring for the kids. So we roll it out, we either tape it to the floor or tape it to the table, and then they can color on it, and it's a great activity.
How'd you find these? Were they on Amazon?
It was, no, I found this article about the 10 things that you need for a minimalistic toy collection for toddlers. Like, these are the only 10 things you need for your toddlers to be entertained, and this was one of them.
Tonight, Bear bit this.
Oh, he bit it?
Yeah,
Oh,
he legit
no.
bit it.
Well, cause and effect, they're learning. So they're really neat. They come with, I mean, all the essential colors. I think you can buy them in a couple different color options, like pastel or whatever. But they're also ergonomic for kids that are even less than a year old, learning how to hold things. This is not probably the proper way to hold something, but,
And they are edible, by the way.
oh, okay.
They are non-stick, edible, non-toxic.
And they think
They better be non-toxic
No
if they're
joke.
edible.
And if they think it's hilarious to put them on their finger and
Yeah, it's
like,
pretty funny.
yeah. So,
It feels cool.
and they're stackable, so they also translate into a totally different area of learning. I assume. I don't have my different.
We'll only give them 2 at a time.
Yeah, that's true. Especially if they're out coloring on the floor and we have butcher paper on the floor, then they only get 1 at a time, because if we lose a crayon, we're in trouble.
If we lose it, it's probably because they ate it.
Or that they have it in their bedroom and then they'll color on the walls later.
That's true.
Yeah, so last thing, painter's tape. You can use this to tape down the butcher's paper, or you can use it to create little cubbies that they can step into. You can use it to create boxes that they can put things, store things into, jump from one box to the next, hopscotch, unlimited.
They can wrap each other up.
You could put a bunch of different colored sticky notes on the wall and put like 4 different boxes on the wall and have them match the color in the boxes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's so many things you can do with painter's tape. So for these things, we will
And
leave.
you could use them to paint.
Yeah, your walls.
Exactly.
That's it for the product review.
All right.
A little comment with your favorite go-to activity for your toddler.
That would be great.
Yes, because we could definitely learn from that.
Do you have a question or a topic that you wanted to talk about?
This isn't what we were going to talk about, but I cannot even express how much better I feel now that we've started this decluttering journey.
Seriously?
Yes.
Is it just because you feel accomplished, or because you like feel like our house is different?
I think I've realized that a trigger to me feeling anxious is all of the common areas of our home were cluttered. When I would go into my closet to pick an outfit, there was clutter. When I would open the junk drawer, which was multiple times a day, I couldn't even see what was in there because there was so much clutter. We haven't got to the pantry yet, but it's cluttered. My drawer that I have designated for just breastfeeding related items was cluttered. You know, the things that we are seeing on a daily basis are messy, and it's hard to see what's in there, and it's hard to, I don't know, it's just, it has made a huge difference. And I think by intentionally reducing the amount of stuff that we have in our home, I just feel better.
I'm really happy to hear that, honey.
Thanks. If you haven't watched any videos on that, you should check out our vlogging channel. We're doing a whole decluttering series.
Yeah, and I'll have to admit, it's never really bugged me. Like, I don't feel anxious. I didn't like having like our closet full of crap where we couldn't even basically walk around or use the floor. But like having the junk drawer nice and clean and organized now, I really appreciate it.
Really?
Yeah, I really do.
That's good.
I know.
He's been a trooper with this whole thing because
Yeah, you're welcome.
kind of gone off the deep end a little bit, but in a good way, I think.
I like having something to do. Rachel especially is just not one that can sit down and relax, which kind of makes it so that I can't sit down and relax. Because if I'm like sitting down watching TV and Rachel's like doing the dishes or doing anything else besides sitting down and watching TV, I feel bad about it because my love language is acts of service. So like I don't mind helping out like when you're decluttering all your stuff.
I don't want you to feel like you can't sit down and watch TV because that would not bother me at all.
Well,
I know that I can't do that.
right, and I don't do it so that you won't be mad at me.
Oh.
There's just like
You
something.
just get motivated.
Yeah, there's just something inside of me that I can't just sit there while you're working.
Interesting. We've had 3 weekends in a row that we haven't had anything going on. So
Which is unheard of because I'm a reservist, and so I have drill at least 1 week in a month, but it just so happened to get canceled, hence the long beard this month because of the weather, so.
I'm so glad because we have family pictures coming up and I want you to have something going on.
Oh, well, I was just gonna keep the mustache for the pictures.
You're hilarious. You're hilarious. You may not know that Brad spends 1 day working in a prison.
It used to be 2.
So he's down to 1 day a week, but there's no lack of stories, really interesting stories by working in a prison, doing eye exams on the inmates.
It's true.
What is probably the hardest part of working in a prison?
Well, the most annoying part, I don't know if it's the hardest, but the most annoying part is just the process to actually get in the clinic. And say you accidentally forgot, I don't know, your gum in your car or something. You can't just go back out and go to your car and get whatever it is you left.
Do you get patted down?
You don't get patted down unless, so as soon as you walk in the door, it's basically like airport security, where there's like a conveyor belt where they do the x-ray scans and then you walk through a metal detector. And then to get into just the administrative office, you have to have a badge with a little chip in it to open the door. So then you get into there. From there is like where I clock in and they give me like a personal device that I can pull, like an emergency device. Or some people get walkie-talkies. So you either get an emergency device or you get a walkie-talkie.
Have you had both?
No.
Only the emergency device?
So because I'm there, I used to be there twice a week, now I'm there once a week. Because I'm there, I just checked out like a personal device that I keep in my bag at all times.
Oh.
So I don't have to go check it out every day anymore.
And it has a thing that you pull if there's an emergency?
Yeah,
and
it's like a
someone
real
comes?
loud siren. So then,
I don't know that I want to know all this.
so we're not even into the prison yet.
Oh my god.
Okay, so then there's a giant metal door that you have to stand in front of, and then the guard sees you, and then they open the door, and then they close the door behind you. And then you scan your ID. So I have 2 IDs. You scan one, you put the other one inside the box, the guard takes it, your like profile's up on the camera, and they check you. And then once you're clear, then they open the other door, and then you go through the other door, and they close it behind you. And then you're actually on, then you're on the prison grounds. So then you walk and there's
This is like before, do you have to go outside again then to get to the prison?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So now I'm
this
going-
is like at the gate.
Yeah, so now I'm going outside.
Okay.
And there's like barbed wire fences and chain link fences. And so I go like walk around some more administrative buildings. And then there's a guard that's looking, and as soon as I walk up, then he opens that door. And then close the door behind you, and then you're actually at a place where you may encounter an inmate.
Okay.
And then then I walk to the clinic and I stand and I hit a button to get into that door. And so they open the door. You have to close that door behind you, and then there's another button, but generally the guard will open the second door just to get into the clinic. So now I'm in, and I'm officially in the clinic now.
Okay.
And there's constant...
How do you remember all that? Because you've done it so many times.
Yeah, once you do it a couple times. But yeah, the first time it's kind of nerve-wracking.
Because there's things you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
Do you ever just stand there and they're like, you need to put your ID over there?
No, that hasn't happened yet.
Oh, okay.
Luckily.
That would happen to me.
So then I'm in the clinic, and there's a guard. So I'm legit alone in a dark room with murderers and rapists and,
the worst criminals of Missouri.
Yeah, it's the maximum security prison in Missouri. I'm in this small room, just me and them. But there's a guard that rows around the clinic. Luckily, the clinic's just like a hallway, so it's not like a very big space. But there's a guard that like lets him in, and then there's a guard that roams the hallway.
Okay.
And that's basically it.
Yeah, when he first started at the clinic, I was nervous about the whole thing. I don't know, it just, the whole idea of it made me nervous. Plus, we had no communication. Now we email pretty regularly, but he can't even take his cell phone in the building, so there was no way.
And you can't take like a smartwatch or anything in.
Yeah, we usually text each other all day long and call each other. Like we're in constant communication. So the fact that he was in this place where I couldn't communicate with him instantly was, but somehow I've just totally let that go, and it's not that big of a deal because we can email and you're pretty quick. Like it's not hours before you can email me, it's just after you finish your patient. So it's not that big of a deal, but you talking about all this is making me a little bit nervous again.
I've only had one patient who was like off his rocker and like probably would have been violent if the guard wouldn't have been in the room with us.
Seriously?
Only one out of, I don't know, the 1,000 that I've treated so
Did the guard know that he had the potential?
Yeah, the guard like yelled at him multiple times and like kind of came over and stood by him.
What was he doing?
He was just obviously a schizophrenic. And just like yelling and like I don't know, like doing like some weird twitch thing, and like he wouldn't read anything. Like, so we didn't do the exam.
Oh, you weren't even able to examine him?
No. That's all the time we have for today.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
Hit that subscribe button because I have some stories.
We didn't even get into, he told me a story yesterday that's crazy.
So yeah, not even a single story.
We'll have to continue the series. If you have any questions for him about the prison, please leave them in a comment below. Also comment with your favorite go-to activity for your toddler.
That would be great.
Yes, because we could definitely learn from that. And if you're not following Busy Toddler on Instagram, lots of good ideas there.
Yep. All right.
We'll see you next time.